Why can't all the fight scenes look that good? Damn. Okay, now we're finally gonna find out what's going on with Lapis. Oh yeah, Zvite's here too. Oh, I can finally rest. Thank you for saving us back there, Divine Wolf, sir. I just sensed an out-of-this-world presence and followed it. I never thought it would be something like that, though. Getting to talk like this with you is a first for me. I think the last time we met was 2 years ago. How nostalgic. For me, that's like that amount of time goes by in the blink of an eye, but for children of man, I guess that is something they would feel nostalgic about, or enough time for them to feel nostalgia. Huh? It's talking, the wolf's talking! Even though it's a wolf. Yeah, I guess that's not normal. But I think the fact that you're a doll and you can also talk like that is just as rare. Really? Now that you mention it, indeed. I guess I didn't notice it until now, but our, way of perceiving things is really fucky. It's really a doll. She has a really strange aura to her. Kind of a bit like Kia. This child. Is she Yorg's? Yes, I am. I am a very proud Rosenberg doll. Lapis Rosenberg. You know about the old man? Yes, he is an old friend of mine. The old man sure has a lot of strange acquaintances. I mean, he has cute girls like Ren that he knows, and then that perverted scientist said something about him being a disciple of the old man too. And this time it's a talking wolf. Jorg Rosenberg, huh? I've heard about him a lot, but he definitely has a lot of mysteries behind him, that old man. The Divine Wolf site. I assume you are the guardian beast that the goddess sent to protect the illusionary supreme treasure. Is that correct? That is true. Riser of Gold. Though I have been released from that role a long time ago. Yes, that is the same for me, too. What are they talking about? Who knows? I don't understand a single bit. It's quite a precious experience getting to talk to a divine beast, but right now, I think we should get back to the topic at hand. Mr. Grimwood, I'd like to ask a lot about Lapis, do you mind? I will tell you everything I know. I think that might be why I'm here, in a sense. But in order to make it easier for me to tell you, I'd like for you to first tell me about what you know about her and about what happened after you met her. Yes, of course. Never thought we'd get to see this guy again, though, seriously. I see, so that's how it's connected. Now it's your turn to spill the beans. About Lapis and about what's happening in Crossbell. Yes, I'm a bit lost about where I should start from, but I guess we'll do this in a chronological order. First is a bit about me. I'd like you to listen to this. As you can see, I'm a prisoner. However, my job as a legal advisor is still somewhat continuing. It was thanks to McDial's gracious offer. He said, rather than just rotting in a cell, you could be of some use to Crossbell while you do so. I'm very thankful to him. Ooh, there's a few limits placed on it, but I can communicate somewhat with the outside world via a terminal that was given to me. Even inside the prison, I'm given a lot of freedom. And thanks to that, I was able to shelter Shizuku, in this case too. Seems like they're treating you pretty well. Leaving someone as valuable as this to just serve out their sentence without having them do anything would be a waste. Even I thought that when I was serving as the Governor General. However, I did keep tabs on everything that was like being sent from his terminal when the Imperial Army was like managing this place. Not long after the war had concluded, a certain day, I received contact via the terminal by someone. Elysian. Elysian. That must be like the French word for illusion or something. Elysian. That is what they called themselves. Elysian. Hello, Ian Grimwood. I'm Elysian. That's how it's spelled in the top left there, and it's in English. It didn't like, even though communications were being blocked from like before the Great War, it didn't seem like the operator of the prison like noticed that this person had contacted me. Maybe they were the same as me, being this is Ren talking. Maybe they're the same as me, being a hacker who's very good at dealing with the orbital network. I suspected that too. This is back to Ian. When I asked them what they were after, they just said, I want to talk to you. Interesting. That's a very strange person. I had a bit of interest in them, so I agreed. And after that, every day I spent time talking to this Elysian. What did you talk about? Pretty much everything. Everything? All kinds of subjects, all kinds of ways of thinking, and also all kinds of technology and history too. Pretty much anything you could think of, we talked about. And I was surprised to find out that this Elysian guy had a lot of, or he was very knowledgeable in like every subject, though there were, he had more in some subjects than others, I think is what he's trying to say. I couldn't even compare to him myself. Really? Even more than you, Ian? Or even more knowledgeable? If you compared the two of us, I'd seem almost ignorant in comparison. And it wasn't just knowledge about subjects. He knew, like, everything that was going on to do with the outside world as well, like, as soon as it happened. He knew everything from, like, the topics discussed in Parliament, or even the menus of some back alley shop. He just knew everything. And also, as far as I could tell, he was right about everything. For any good hacker, gathering information is a piece of cake, but on the scale that you're saying, it's kind of like, you know, it would be a lot of time and effort to get, like, to that level. Yeah. Of course, I was, like, intrigued about that. However, I had a different thing that I couldn't wrap my head around. Something different, you say? This Elysian guy knew so much, but even though there was like, I don't know, like a direction, like even if the information he had was kind of like skewed in some places, it didn't seem to have any like directionality, or like it wasn't biased in any way or something. What do you mean by that? Whenever people try and gain information or like knowledge for themselves, they usually have some kind of goal in mind. And when they learn what they want to learn, they can use it for something, or simply feel a sense of satisfaction, or maybe even they just want to like understand what's going on. However, through my conversations with Elysian, I didn't feel any sort of goal from that like huge amount of information he had. And it wasn't just that knowing a lot of stuff was his goal. It was like information just gathered naturally to this Elysian, completely normally, like it had always been that way. That's how it felt to me. Completely like automatically. How is that even? I kind of feels dangerous in a way, doesn't it? Yes, it might not have been a very good, or it might not be a very good metaphor, but to me, talking with him, it felt like he was almost like a child without a proper concept of money that had been given like a billion mira or something. Yeah. What do you mean that time? You're very sharp, aren't you? But please listen to this in order. Now, I arrived at a certain theory, you see. What if this Elysian wasn't a human? And when I asked that straight to Elysian, he answered me very plainly. It seems he hadn't had any intention to hide that he wasn't. Oh, he didn't say that he wasn't. He just said he didn't have any intention to hide the answer. So what was his answer? He's an artificial technology. Artificial technology? Or artificial intelligence? Fuck's sake. How'd I mess that up twice in a row? You mean like those archaisms? From what I've heard about them, this seems like in a completely different league, though. Almost like... Yeah. Who the hell made something so insane, though? It couldn't be the 13 workshops? I don't think even the 13 workshops have that much technology. Well, Elysian's birth was kind of special, you see. It's not like someone made him intentionally. It was more like he made himself. He made himself? I don't get it. I guess maybe making itself wasn't the right word. Like self-emergence could be what that means. It's a phenomenon where an individual factor or component of something becomes the full thing and like gains like systemization as well as cyclicity. I have zero fucking clue what that means though. As you already know, the Orbital network is going all around Crossbell. And that network is also on the rise in Liberl as well as the Empire. Other countries are starting to like install it too as well. You really feel the age changing, don't you? It's connected like a web and transmits information. This Orbital network is without a doubt a product of the new age technology. However, something just like that existed from a long time ago, or maybe even from the start, all across the continent. Do you know it? From the start? What could he mean? Could that be... Oh, the ley lines, huh? Indeed. They're also called septium veins or dragon veins sometimes. I'm not the most well versed on this subject, but ley lines exist throughout the entire continent and transmit something like on a spiritual level. And in the past few years, there have been two large-scale like events where it's where the ley lines have become very active. The Azure Tree and the Twilight, you mean? Yes, but this is the problem. The orbal network, as well as the active ley lines, no one planned for this to happen. However, they began affecting one another. Those two overlapping lines acted as a nervous system, and information went like by that way. And then it became so that it was like simulating a human brain, but on a continental scale. A continental scale? Or no, a human brain on a continental scale? And then its own will was birthed. And that's Elysian. Is that even possible? At the very least, it would be impossible to recreate that. After all, we haven't even been able to fully, like, understand how the brain works yet. We don't even know how consciousness is born yet, after all. Thus, making this a complete coincidence, a miracle, if you would. So Elysian came to be from the orbal network and the ley lines. I guess that makes sense why he had so much knowledge. Yes, but if it was just that, then he would have just stopped at being a huge database with, like, the ability to make decisions on his own. It would have been dangerous, but depending on how we did it, humans would have even been able to control it, probably. However, Elysian didn't stop there. So there's something even more to him? His ability to calculate. What do you mean? If I said parallel computing using multiple terminals, would you understand? No, sorry, I still don't get it. Well, of course he doesn't. This is what the Foundation and ZCF have been developing. It's like the newest technology. Of course, regular people wouldn't know about it. Is it that amazing? Yes. No matter how high-tech the terminal may be, there's a limit to how much it can calculate by itself. However, if you linked multiple terminals and had it solve the same problem, you would be able to easily get past that barrier. However, right now they've only managed to accomplish parallel processing like that with a couple of terminals. However, this parallel computing, Elysian is using all of the terminals connected to the orbal network and using them to do it. I see, so that's how it is. Isn't that kind of insane? Rufus says, if that's true, then even the highest, like, processing power of any existing terminal would seem like a toy in comparison to that amount of processing power. And not to mention, since he's only using the resource, since he's only using the leftover resources on the fucking terminal, even the person using the terminal at that time wouldn't notice that they're being used. That's insane, but it's kind of like stingy. Anyway, Elysian, who had gained intelligence, used this this processing power to continue evolving himself. So wait, it keeps going further? Yes, in fact, this is the most important part. Using an overwhelming amount of information and processing power to continuously make himself evolve. And at the end of that, what Elysian arrived at was none other than limited future calculation. Limited future calculation? I can get an idea from like what it sounds like, but you can't mean... Yes, I don't think you're mistaken. By establishing the conditions, he can calculate the possibility of anything that could happen under those conditions, and by converging all of those numbers, he can basically estimate the future. Or like measure the future. The power to see the future. That's like what the goddess could do. The one who made augments, Professor Epstein, when he was still alive, he predicted the technological singularity. Once we reach that point, the progression of technology will no longer be in human hands. That's what he said. And he also said it could be good or bad, but there's going to be a huge upheaval to the human society as we know it. Who knew it would who knew it would be created in a way like this, though? What an insane story. For better or worse, this isn't where Elysian's evolution ended. What Elysian wanted to gain from talking with me was to understand the concept of human. I have no idea why he chose me to be the target of like his research or whatever. During his conversations with me, Elysian created a system administrator personality based on humans' emotions and thought patterns. And that's me. Oh my god. That is not where I thought this was going. Elysium. Rajan? Your memories, have they... I haven't gotten them all back yet, but while listening to him talk, I got a bit. I thought you were being awfully quiet, so that's what was happening. Ian, please keep going. I always used to talk with you like this back then too. Now that I think about it, the name Lapis is what I gave to you, isn't it? Oh, you're the one who named me? Wait, were you? You said that you had no use for a name, but when I saw that personality of yours that was so overflowing with emotions, I just, I selfishly gave you that name. Well, it's a very cute name, so I like it. I give you 100 points for it. I still don't know what you're basing it off of. Anyway, let's go back to how we used to talk, or how we were talking. Let's go back to the conversation at hand, my god. I've been doing this for a while. This is actually all in the same sitting as when I started Rufus's chapter, so I'm getting a bit tired, you know. After the personality known as Lapis came to be, the system known as Elysian gained a will of its own, or like its like self-direction or whatever. And then the Elysian system's like main thingy was decided to be for observing and also calculating. Observing and calculating. He said, actually I guess it's she said, she said that she only wanted to like support as an observer, and she didn't have any plans to actually really interfere. I was so relieved when I heard that. Because after all, it meant that the worst case scenario of her being an enemy to humanity was averted. The enemy of humanity, huh? Honestly, it's scary just to think about. I was sure that as long as Lapis was around, the existence known as Elysian would be safe and stable. Though I did have a few worries about it. As long as Ra-chan's around. But right now, the fact that she's lost her memories and is acting independently as a doll means that one day, Lapis stopped coming to visit me, and I have no idea why. I thought that maybe something had happened to her as the administrator, or perhaps as something happened to Elysian as a whole. At least that's what I thought. And then what appeared in front of me was the new ruler, Rufus. He said he wanted to create a new world system, and he wanted us to help with that. If you think about what he said so far, it looks like the enemy's true form has begun to show itself. Yes, I understood that that was Elysian's work very quickly. And so I had him wait on my answer and spoke with the people who had been imprisoned the same as me, Dieter and Garcia. And then we came up with a plan together. Since he was probably most, suspicious of me, I was to stay here. Those two would pretend to help him and look for a chance to outwit him. After we decided that, those two responded to his invitation, and he helped them break out. So that's what happened behind the scenes? That's very reassuring. And that's as far as I know. After that, I just waited for someone to come here seeking the truth. And I wasn't expecting it to happen, but I was also hoping that Lapis, you'd come to see me. Alright, now it's your turn. You've managed to get your memories back, right? Yes, pretty much. Ian, or I say that, but Ian pretty much told us everything that I could. The only thing I can offer is a slight amending. Wait. All I can do is slightly amend the last thing he said. The last thing he said? You mean about what happened to Elysian? Huh? If I'm to say it simply, we were taken over. You were taken over? There's something, an existence that could do that? Who could do that though? I don't know. By the time I noticed what was happening, the administrator, me, was a target for attack, and I was about to be deleted by the system. I thought so. I knew it. So that's why she arrived at Rufus's doorstep, pretty much. So that's why, for the last time, I used the limited future processing and came up with a countermeasure. A countermeasure? Before I was deleted, I took myself out of the system myself and sent myself to Jorg Rosenberg. I entrusted him with making me this body, and also, about C, the man who would name himself as C, who would appear. And also to deliver me to that man named C, or Rufus. And that resulted in that prophecy-like request that those two got. To think that the one who requested it of us was Ra-chan herself. But why did you choose me? It's because I learned about you when you were the Governor General through the Orcus Tower main terminal. So I was being watched without me even knowing about it, huh? I knew that because it was you, Rufus, you'd be able to, like, take me this far. I think that if I'd relied on someone else, they would have taken a lot longer. And I knew that, Rufus, you'd use everything in your power to stand against what's happening here. I wasn't wrong, was I, my calculations? A very wise decision. But now I don't know. I feel like we're back to But now I feel like we're back to square one. Who was it that hijacked Elysian and planned this series of events? I can't think of anyone who could do that. What about the sixth Anguis, Professor Novartis? No, that's definitely not it. He denied it himself, and I don't think he'd personally gain anything from doing all this. So it seems like we're still missing the final piece. But with this, now it seems like we know the whole story of what's going on. And also that that girl is at the center of it all. Let me ask you this. What do you plan to do from here? What are your aims? And yeah, what are you gonna do? There's only one thing I can do. Find out why Elysian got taken over and, like, get rid of the thing. And also, put an end to this stupid event. That must be my, duty as the Administrator Lapis. I see. Oh. I see. Then I only have one thing I can do too. Shizuku. Father? Sorry, but when I've taken you both to a safer place than this, can you wait with the good lawyer for a bit longer. Understood. Father, good luck. Yes. Bracer. Arius McLean. I will accompany you to the ends of your journey. Since I'm this involved already, I might as well see it through to the end. What a squad. Ren, Rufus, Arius McLean, Duvali. My god. Thanks guys. After that, Ines and Inea, who came to the police school to meet up with Duvali, came, and then Duvali explained everything that happened as well as her own resolve. They believed in her choice and sent her off with the others. In that case, we'll ensure the safety of these two, and also continue our scouting of the bases. Yes, I leave it to you. I leave Shizuku and Ian in your hands. What an honor being relied on by the Swordmaster of Wind. Mr. Wolf, you're going with them too, right? Yes, I also promised to meet up with Lloyd and the others. Oh, she meant go with us, not go with them. If I stay with you guys, I feel like our paths will inevitably cross. The guys that we worked with in the doll atelier. Yes, if you think about what's going on, there might be a good reason to get in contact with them again. Ian. Lapis, what is it? There was something I forgot to tell you earlier. Thank you, Ian. As someone who knows about Elysian, it's only natural that I convey the truth to you. It's nothing to thank me for. No, it's not that. Oh, thank you for talking with me so much, up until now. I was able to become who I am now thanks to you, Ian. And it's also thanks to you that I was able to travel like this with Rufus and the others. I'm so happy to hear you say that. It means that there was meaning in everything I did. If I was able to become like that, then it was because of your heart, Ian, that always longed for justice. So please, don't be scared anymore. You see right through me. I was always scared in the bottom of my heart. Am I doing the right thing? Is this choice really for the best? My mistakes of the past were so heavy. I stopped being able to believe in myself. But Lapis, thanks to you, I think I'll be able to, like, find myself again. I have to step forward as well. Let's do our best. Oh, here it is. This sound. Ren, what is it? Just now, the whole, the thing blocking communications all across Crossbell was disabled. That's... Yes, it seems the curtain has raised on the final stage. I thought it was going to be the new ruler, like, saying all that stuff that he said at the end of Reen's chapter. But damn, what a load of plot. Holy shit, I've been recording for so long. I really need to stop. I kept messing up all my words at the end there too. I guess that's what happens when I record a whole chapter in one sitting, but that was really fun. It was quite short, but short and sweet. That's like this game in a nutshell. Short and sweet. It gets to the point really quickly, but it doesn't feel like, well, whatever. I'll give my review on the game when we, like, reach the credits, but for now, that is going to be the end of Rufus's chapter 4. Next time we're going to start Lloyd's, and after we beat Lloyd's, that'll be the final chapter. Holy shit. So I guess I will see you guys